What up, my people? I am Coach O, and this is National Scouting Service podcast show. We'd like to welcome all you all for tuning in. We're going to get into some of our high school news as well as our college news on this podcast show. And with that being said, you can follow me on Twitter at Coach O Brown, also on Twitter at National Scouting, as well as on Station Head at National Scouting. You'll have to download the app and follow National Scouting. Again, I am Coach O. This is our National Scouting Service podcast show. And um, on all our shows, you kind of see me with some college shirts on. This shirt is made by Cold Tees. You can follow Cold Tees on Instagram. This is where I got this shirt made from. So when you see me in some of these college shirts on the show, they are made by Cold Tees, which is my mother-in-law. So if you would like to get a T-shirt made, you can inbox me on any one of our social media platforms, and I can get you that information. Also, with that being said, this show is being sponsored by Ink to the T t-shirts as well as by Uncontested Hoops. So you can follow both of those Ink to the T on Instagram if you want also accessories from that website, as well as you can also follow Uncontested Hoops. That is Coach Herb Washington. So if you're in trying to get some skills training, ball handling, all that type of basketball techniques and stuff done, be sure you contact Coach Herb Edwards. Also, I like to give, Washington, I'm talking about Herb Edwards, Mr. Herb Washington. Also, like to give a big shout out to all our youth and high school athletes out there, as well as to the officials that be officiating these sports in Paso. Big shout out to you all. Really appreciate everything that you all are doing for our youth and the ones that are playing sports, because without you all, they wouldn't be having people out there to be able to officiate and call some of the games that we are having out there as well. So big shout out to the middle schools and big shout out to Tasso as well. With that being said, we have some upcoming shows that you all do not want to miss. And this Saturday, we will be having a special guest, Mr. I always jack his name up, Mr. Isaiah Villanueva. He's out of North Texas University. He's an offensive lineman with North Texas. Our interview will be at 10 a.m. So be sure you tune in on Station Head App Radio, as well as on YouTube or on Facebook to follow that show. We will also have coming up on Wednesday on 10 on October the 12th of 2022 at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will have special guest Mr. Kimble Anders, a former All-Pro NFL standout fullback and future Hall of Famer of the Kansas City Chiefs. He will be inducted into the Chiefs Hall of Fame in November. So be sure to tune in to that show. We're going to be talking about his life, how he was brought up out of Galveston, Texas, through high school, through college, on into the NFL. Now, with that being said, we have a good show today. I have my high school picks and all of that. I also have my college picks. But before I do that, it was one sport that I was leaving out, and I wasn't doing this intentionally, because we all know during football season, there's also a volleyball season. But I haven't had any guests on the show that are volleyball players. If you know any of them that's out there, or any coaches that would like to be guests on National Scouting Service podcast show, please let them know we are out here. We are willing to interview them, as well as to market their program and some of their players. So with my high school news, I want to just get into some of the things that was going on in volleyball. And if a lot of y'all did not know, there have been 14 high school volleyball players who have led their teams to an outstanding season, competed, being being congratulated on Max Preps. Everybody know Max Preps is one of the nation's leading high school platforms. So they're being recognized on that Max Preps, also being National Player of the Year and being on the National Player of the Year watch. And I'm not going to name all 14, but I'm going to give some of these ladies credit. And some of them are, and they also being repeated All-American honorees. So I think that's a big thing for the sport of volleyball as well as for these high school young ladies. Olivia Babcock, she out of Sierra Canyon. Um, she goes to Sierra Canyon High School, I'm sorry, out of Chatsworth, California. Julia Blazov, she's out of Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego, California. Chloe Chachision, she's out of Maturin, Lafayette, Indiana. We have Mel Correll, she's a Bajovic, she's out of Rondinio Union, Rondino Beach, California. Brooklyn DeLay, she's out of Washburn Rural High School in Topeka, Kansas. And also Charlie Furbringer, she's out of Maricosa, Manhattan Beach, California. So congratulations to these young ladies. They are outstanding volleyball players. And as you can see, some of them are in different states, some are in the same state. But volleyball does go on when we have high school football. So I wasn't trying to lead them out in any shape or form. But volleyball is going on. I haven't had any guests to be on the show, but we welcome any of them if they want to reach out to us and contact us about what they have going on in volleyball as well as their volleyball program. Now, with that being said, let's get into the show. And I already told you about the upcoming podcast, but we're going to get into some high school games and news. We had some Thursday games, which occurred on October the 6th. And some of these games, I'm going to give you the win and losses. And I didn't pick any of these teams, high schools in this game, but for the future games that's coming up tonight, because I'm going out to watch a game that I'm going to feature as the National Scouting Service game of the week. But we had Houston Lamar Texans. They beat Houston Westbury 59-7. We had Houston Sterling Raiders. They played against Houston Milby, and Houston Sterling won that game 27-0. We had the Channel View Falcons played against South Houston Trojans, one of my former schools that I worked at. And Channel View Falcons, they defeated South Houston Trojans 35-28, which I know was a good game. Hey, best of luck to all of those teams, whether you won or lost. Keep pushing because you never know the playoffs coming up, and it can take 1 or 2 games to get you in, and then in the playoffs, you can make a mark and make your stamp on the game. Also, we have some high school games tonight, and some of those games that's going to be featured tonight is El Paso Mountwood Rams versus the El Paso Eastlake Falcons. I'm taking El Paso Eastlake Falcons in that game. We have Midland Legacy Rebels versus Woodworth Friendship Tigers, and I'm taking Midland Legacy Rebels in that game because, Woodworth, they got friendship. When you're on that field, only time we friends is the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. We have the Lubbock Cooper Pirates versus the Amarillo Sandlers, and I'm going with the Amarillo Sandlers in that game. Now, my NSS high school game of the week, it features Port Arthur Memorial Titans versus the LaPorte Bulldogs. And the reason why this is the NSS high school game of the week, because 2 of the coaches for each team I know personally. I worked with one of them, and one of them is like a childhood friend. My mother used to call him her son, and that is Kevin Bernithi. He's the head coach of the LaPorte Bulldogs. Good luck to you all tonight, Coach Bernithi. And Corey Mangum, he is the defensive coordinator of Port Arthur Memorial Titans. I worked with him at Galveston Ball. We worked together in football, and he's a defensive coordinator. And this is going to be an interesting game because Bernithi is an offensive-minded guy. Mangum is a defensive-minded guy. And myself and Bernithi are Galveston Ball alumni. We are Galveston Ball tours. And Mr. Mangum went to Lamarck High School, the Lamarck Cougars, which was our rivals when we was in high school. So I think this is going to be an interesting game. This is the NSS high school game of the week. So I will be in attendance at that game. Good luck to both coaches. Good luck to both teams. And as always, we hope no one have any major injuries. And if any injuries do occur, we hope it's something that you can recover back strong and fast from and touch the field. Now, with that being said, in my NCAA football news and picks and my college news, I did not know this, but this was very interesting to me. On the college level, if a lot of you all didn't know, that the college The California leads the way with 19 starting signal callers, quarterbacks, at the FBS level, followed by Texas with 17. So we still in the rankings, big state of Texas. We always trying to hold it down. But I thought that was interesting that California leads with 19. That means they have 19 players that are starters on the NCAA football level, and Texas has 17. A couple of these players you all, or some of you all may not know: Bryce Young out of Alabama, CJ Stroud out of Ohio State, and DJ Ugali out of Clemson. And then we have Cameron Ward, which is my cousin, and he's out of West Columbia High School, and he plays at Washington State. Austin Uni Argyle, he's at North Texas. And a very interesting story about this young man: he played on the MLB, Major League Baseball level, I want to say for 5 or 8 years. And he is the oldest quarterback playing right now in collegiate football. He left baseball, I guess. He never made it to the majors, or he didn't see himself making it to the majors. So he came back to play college ball, and he's North Texas um, starting quarterback, which is interesting because I'm going to have a North Texas football player on our show tomorrow at 10 a.m. and Isaiah Villanueva. You don't want to miss that show because I'm going to ask him about how is that going, how is the transition from baseball, if he ever talked about it with the players, and see how they doing as well. Grayson, James Grayson out of Duncanville High School. He's at Florida International, and he's the starting quarterback over there. So I felt that was very interesting, and good luck to all those guys. Now with my college picks. On Saturday, we have a couple of games coming up. We have number 11 Utah State versus number 18 UCLA, and I'm taking number 18 UCLA in that game. We have my former alma mater, Ottawa University, the Braves, baby, versus the University of St. Mary's, but I'm taking the University of St. Mary's in this game. We also have Central Methodist University versus another school I attended and played ball at Mid-America Nazarene University. Big shout out to the Pioneers alumni. I know they having homecoming coming up, as well as the introduction of their new field. My former head coach, Coach Mike Redwine, is going to be in attendance with a couple of my old teammates. Hey, big shout out to you all. Not going to be able to make the event again this year. I know I promised you all that I'll be there this year, but I'm telling you, I will be there next year. And I'm taking Central Methodist in that game. Also, we have Texas Southern University versus Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I'm taking the Arkansas Pine Bluff in that game. Big shout out to one of my former coaches in Coach Chris Robinson, and he's at Arkansas Pine Bluff. We also have Grambling University versus Alabama A&M. I'm taking Alabama A&M in that game. And we have Southern University versus Prairie View A&M University, and I'm taking Southern University in that game. So that's all we have. That's our show tonight. Remember, Kimble Anders will be having an event in Texas. Let me show you that in Galveston, Texas. Let me show you that. That will be on October the 15th. That event will be at 2 p.m. You don't want to miss it. If you need contact information, you can call 489-354-2788. The location of that event is at Rat County Recreation Center. That's 718 41st Street in Galveston, Texas. This event is for the kids. It presents children's poetry and illustration contest. You don't want to miss it. Probably going to be some gifts and everything handed out. So I think that's a big and a good event for our youth that Mr. Kimble Anders is giving, because he is from Galveston, Texas. And again, I will be having him on my show next week, and we're going to get into his life growing up in Galveston through high school into college on to the NFL. And with that being said, this is Coach O, and this is National Scholarship Service podcast show. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Station Head. You'll have to download the Station Head app and follow National Scouting. We're also on TikTok and YouTube. If you'd like to get in contact with us about coming on the show or being a guest on the show, or someone that you feel that we should interview, you can email us at nationalscoutingservice@yahoo.com or at nationalscoutingservice@gmail.com. Our shows can also be listened to now on Spotify. So just get on Spotify, look for National Scouting Service. Our podcast shows have been uploaded. Some of them have been uploaded now, and now you can get the audio on there as well. And again, I am Coach O, and this is our National Scouting Service show. And big shout out to all the high school teams that's going to be in action tonight. Good luck to you all, because the playoffs is right around the corner, and wherever they may be, you never know. National Scouting Service will definitely be in the show.